Hello and welcome to this masterclass on business English. My name is Charlotte Goodyear and I'm the academic manager at Bayswater. We are a global skills company offering tuition in a range of subjects from digital marketing, luxury brand management, and of course, business English. We are working in collaboration with IBS Americas to bring this masterclass to you. Follow the instructions in the description to receive a free certificate for this masterclass and the chance to win a scholarship to study in person with me in Bayswater, London. For this masterclass, we are going to learn 8 expressions commonly used in corporate working environments. The idea being that you will feel more confident communicating with your international work colleagues in an English-speaking workplace. A little disclaimer, most of the conversations you'll be having in English in your workplace will be between yourself and other second language speakers. Therefore, it is not 100% necessary for you to use a lot of idiomatic expressions and phrasal verbs. However, it may help you to feel a little more confident when you are participating in meetings if you are able to understand these expressions or if you receive an email containing them. So let's start by having a look at this conversation between Dave and his colleague Lucas. They are trying to arrange a meeting. I'd like you to take a moment to read through the conversation. Have a look at any of the vocabulary that might be new, and in particular, any collocations that seem unusual. By collocations, I mean words that come together. So for example, I'm sure you know the word ball, but what does it mean in the context of this sentence? Now you've had a chance to read the conversation, let's check what you've understood from it. I have a few sentences here, and I'd like you to have a think about whether or not they are true or false. Okay, now let's have a check. Everything is already prepared for the project. This one is false. The project is not yet ready. That is why they're having the meeting. Lucas and Dave are going to meet at 12 p.m. This is also false. The original meeting was going to be at midday or 12 p.m., but now they are arranging a new time. They haven't decided yet. And Gloria is aware of the plans for the project. This is also false. They need to communicate with Gloria to let her know. Okay, so now let's have a little look at the vocabulary that tells us why these questions were true and false. The first expression we'll look at is to get the ball rolling. And in this case, it means to start or begin. We imagine we've got the ball, it's not moving, we give it a little push, and the project begins to gain momentum. In this case, we're using this with the preposition on so that we can add an object. But of course, you could change this to something else. It doesn't have to be a project. Another expression we have here, to push the meeting back. Now, if you have a guess, would you think this is to make the meeting earlier or later? You might guess earlier. Actually, no, in this case, it means they want to meet a little bit later. And finally, they said they would keep Gloria in the loop. So we are keeping someone in the loop. We are making sure that they are informed about what's happening, and we are communicating with them, keeping them in the loop of communication. So let's have a quick check about what you've remembered. We have our expressions here on the left and our definitions here on the right. You take a moment to think about it, try to match them. And let's have a quick check. So to keep someone in the loop is B, to keep someone informed. So remember, they are going to inform Gloria, keep her in the loop so she knows what's happening with the project. Number 2, to get the ball rolling. This was to begin something, to start a project or a process. And finally, to push back a meeting is to meet later than planned. Now notice here we're using a phrasal verb, push back. In this example, we are adding the object at the end, but the meeting can also go in the middle. So we can push the meeting back or push back the meeting. Okay, so let's have a look at another conversation between 2 work colleagues. Again, have a quick read Notice if there's any new vocabulary and any new collocations. So let's see what you understood from that conversation. Have a quick read of our 2 questions here and think about if they are true or false. The first question, Gloria is struggling with her workload, and this one is true. She is indeed. For the second one, Jess is putting pressure on Gloria to do additional tasks. This one is false. Now let's have a look at why. So if we look at the first sentence in the conversation, we can see we have this expression, I don't have the bandwidth to do something. So after this expression, we can add an infinitive or a verb phrase here. So for example, I don't have the bandwidth to help you with that right now, we could also say. And the meaning here is that we don't have the psychological energy to do something. Here we are kind of comparing ourselves to a computer and the internet and talking about how much information we can process in this time. So in this case, Gloria can't process anymore. She is running at full capacity. But Jess understands, it's nice. She says, we can put that on the back burner. So in this case, put that, which is the project she is referring to. And what she is saying is we can do that a little bit later. This task is still important, but it doesn't have to be a priority right now. It can be left for a little bit later. And finally, Gloria's happy. She says, thanks for understanding. Let's touch base on Monday. And this expression means that they will communicate again on Monday. They will make contact. Now let's have a quick check to see what you remember. So again, you've got your expressions here on the left and a definition on the right. Can you take a moment to try to match those? For question number 1, to not have bandwidth for something, this was to not have the mental or psychological energy to do something. You just don't have capacity for it right now. And of course, you can add different objects for something, so for a task, or you can add a verb phrase, say, to help you with something. So I don't have the bandwidth to help you with that right now. For number 2, to put something on the back burner, this was to delay focusing on a task or a project. Now it may be this project has already started, but not a priority in this moment, so you can focus on it a little bit later. And again, we can add the object here, where we have something. So put the project on the back burner, put the task on the back burner, or whatever you like. And finally, number 3, to touch base with someone. This was to make contact with someone. This could be via email, quick call, a message, but to make some kind of communication with them. And now for our final conversation, just a short one this time. So again, 2 colleagues having a chat. Take a moment to have a quick read, check the vocabulary, see what you understand. And we have 2 questions this time. Are they true or false? Have a quick read and think based on what you read. For the first one, all team members support the new initiative. This one is false. We don't actually know yet whether or not they support the initiative. And for the second, Juan feels it's important that everyone is in agreement before the meeting. Yes, he does. It's true. And we'll have a quick look at why that is. So in the first one, we have this expression to have buy-in from someone, or from, in this case, a group. And this means to have support from, have agreement that this is indeed a good idea or initiative in this case. And for the second, let's make sure we're all on the same page. This is a lovely idiomatic expression. So in this case, to say, let's make sure we are all in agreement and we all have the same understanding of the situation. If you imagine you're reading a book and I'm reading one page, you're reading a different page, we'd be quite confused. So we want to make sure we're reading from the same page. Now we only have 2 expressions this time, so we'll just go straight for the definitions, see what you remember. To have buy-in from someone, this is to have active support of an idea. We have agreement that it's a great idea. And to be on the same page about something, this is to have the same understanding of a situation as someone else. Finally, I have a little review task for you. What I'd like you to do is choose 4 of these expressions and write your own mini dialogue between 2 colleagues to practice using this vocabulary in context. And of course, if you get the opportunity to, you can try using it in your speaking as well. Thank you for watching this Business English Masterclass. Remember, this is just a taster session, so if you want to experience more classes like this, you can come and join us one of our summer or winter programs with IBS Americas at Bayswater, London. Don't forget to follow the link in the description below to get a free certificate and your chance to win a scholarship for our next program.